Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. So I wanted to talk very briefly about this viral video of this student and the substitute teacher fighting. I don't agree with what happened at all. I think it was horrible. However, what I'm noticing is there are a lot of people making comments about the student. A lot of people making comments stating that she was being disrespectful and she should have, known better for what she did and how she approached her teacher and stuff like that. And I don't disagree about that. She was definitely turned up. However, I think that this, what I'm saying is like there's a huge level of misogyny going on because it just doesn't make sense to blame, it doesn't make sense to blame the student. The adult is the person who controls the temperature in the room. She could have sent her out. She could have called the principal and had the principal come get her. Again, she's not even like a teacher. She's a sub. So now the teacher or the sub is online. She has a GoFundMe and all this stuff, and basically saying she doesn't know what she's gonna do because if she doesn't work, she doesn't get paid. She's not salaried as a substitute. She gets paid by the day. So she basically saying she no longer has employment. Of course, nobody else is gonna hire her after this incident. So she's like another school. So she's basically looking like Boo Boo the Fool right now. And I'm just like, unfortunately, like, you have to take responsibility for that. Like, you're a grown woman. You decided to get on top of a child and beat her up with no drawers on, by the way. Like, and that's another reason why I thought the video went viral is because her butt was hanging out of her under her dress. She didn't have on no underwear. Which was, I don't know, like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you gotta wear a bra, oh, you gotta wear underwear, but it's kind of like, just, it was tacky. I wouldn't go teach around children and not have on underwear. That's just me personally. Especially with a dress that short, but that's something I observed from the video, and I feel like that's part of why the video went viral, because everybody wanted to look at her butt. But also, there's this thing in the Black community, not even in the Black community in general, where we just automatically go to blaming Black girls, and we do it with Black boys too. I do feel like Black girls, it's like it's different. Like, so with boys, it's like, oh, he's violent, oh, he's belligerent, or oh, they just automatically categorize a Black boy and say certain things about him. And there are certain things they say about Black girls. Oh, she was being fast, oh, she was being smart, oh, she got an attitude, oh, she's smelling herself now. Like, there's that whole energy that people turn to when they're trying to blame a Black child, and in this situation, a Black girl. It just seemed ridiculous to me that they just automatically started blaming this child, whatever. Because at the end of the day, like, let's be real, the teacher took her property. Was the girl supposed to have the phone in class? Probably not, but she took her property. So she walked up on her like, hey, give me my stuff back. I'm sure plenty of children have done this in school. Like, oh, you don't pay my phone bill? My mama paid my phone bill. Give me my phone back. Call my mama. I'm sure plenty of children have had that type of attitude before with a teacher or a sub who took their phone. I'm sure this is not the first time a student has gotten up and walked to their teacher or sub's desk and been like, give me my phone back. Also, there were a lot of comments about her swinging first. I don't know what anyone else saw, but I know what my eyes saw, and I got an extra pair of eyes because I wear glasses. The teacher bucked at the girl first, and then she took the first hit. I watched it more than once. The teacher took the first hit, and she bucked at the girl first. Now, I didn't get in a lot of trouble. I didn't get into a lot of fights and stuff when I was a teenager. I definitely wasn't fighting no adults when I was a teenager. However, depending on this girl's environment, and I'm going to just speak from my personal experience, if I was at school and one of my teachers bucked at me, I'm swinging. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm swinging. Because I'm gonna be like, I don't know this woman from a can of paint. I just come see, I see her when I come to school. This ain't my mama. This ain't my grandmama. This ain't my daddy. This ain't my uncle. This ain't my auntie. You know what I'm saying? And this woman just bucked at me. Like, I'm going to instantly go into defense mode. And we don't know if this young woman has fought other people or what type of environment she's in. She was ready to go. I mean, that's usually what happens when you feel threatened. You either cower or you attack back. So the teacher swung the first punch. The girl, went back at her, and then, they got to fighting for real. And then, like I said, the teacher was on top of her, like, talking about some, get a teacher, get the principal, or whatever she was saying, with her butt hanging out. And now she's crying about not having a job and trying to do a GoFundMe because she don't know what she's going to do, how she going to feed her kids. Or whatever. Her husband started her GoFundMe, she said. In my personal opinion, I feel like people are being too harsh on the student. I feel like they're making up narratives about what they saw, which I feel like, again, is another example of this stuff that happens when black people are blamed for stuff, or young black people are blamed for stuff. It's like, oh, he pulled out a gun, or oh, she did this, and that's not even really what happened. Like, people caught this on camera, and people are still saying that the little girl hit the teacher first. She did not hit the teacher first. The teacher hit her first. The teacher bucked at her first. And she got what she was bargaining for. She got a student that popped her back. And in no way do I think the situation is okay. I think it's horrible. This shouldn't be happening in any of our schools. It was bad. However, like I said, as far as physicality, from what I observed, the video that was released on the internet, from what I saw, the teacher started the physical part of the altercation, which I think is even worse because, again, you are supposed to be taking care of that classroom. You're supposed to be in charge. You're the adult. I think it kind of triggered me too because I'm a young, I am young, but I'm a black woman who has been blamed for stuff as a child that I didn't do. And people took some of the things that I said or some of my behaviors as like, oh, she being smart, oh, she got an attitude, oh, she trying to get rowdy or whatever. And it was really like, no, like, I'm just sticking up for myself, I'm defending myself or whatever. And like I said, my situations were all verbal. Actually, no, I did have a situation where I wasn't a teenager, but I was in my early 20s, and I said something to an elder of mine, and she jumped on me, and it was ridiculous and crazy because there was no threat to her at all, but she did anyway. And then after it happened, the other elders, they were my elders at the time, still are my elders at the time, were like, well, you shouldn't have got loud with her. No, like, grown ass people need to learn how to control themselves, for real. If the child is not beating you up, jumping on you, attacking you, and this is part of why I think the gentle parenting, conscious parenting conversation is so, like, heightened, especially with my generation. I'm a millennial. Is because we are used to having elders that feel like they want to do the first jump off, like, bitch, I'll knock you out, I'll slap the hell out of you. We're used to growing up and having adults talk to us like that, and we're finally at a place where people our age are like, that wasn't okay, or we're going to parent our children differently. And so this is an example of that. In no way was it okay for the teacher to hit the student. Nobody should have hit anybody, first of all. But for the teacher to hit the student first, like I said, it holds a different level of responsibility because since you're grown as fuck. Like, you're grown as fuck. So there's no reason you should be trying to attack a student, hit somebody else's child. First of all, like, if that little girl, mom or daddy would have came up there and sucked the dog shit out of that substitute teacher, I would have been like, I would have been on hush. I wouldn't have had anything to say about it because how dare you do that just because she want her phone back? Like, just send her out of the classroom. Like, there's so many other ways that the substitute teacher could have handled it, and now she wants empathy. Like, girl, get out of here with that, please. And yeah, like I said, she up in there with no drawers, like literally showing her ass. She literally showed her ass. I don't agree with how the substitute teacher handled it. I feel like people are being too harsh on the young lady. Like I said, even making up stories saying that she hit the teacher first because she didn't. And yeah, I just think it was deplorable, and it was poor behavior on the substitute teacher's fault. And I just don't like how people are just instantly blaming the student for how she reacted. One of the things I've learned with gentle parenting / conscious parenting is that you can't really expect somebody who is not your age to behave like your age, right? So you can't expect a 1-year-old to know that they need to file their taxes. You can't expect a hormonal teenager to always be rational. Everybody knows that about teenagers. People talk about toddlers and teenagers all the time. Oh, they out of control. Oh, they wild. And they are. They're going through a developmental stage. Their frontal lobes are not fully developed. They're still developing all types of things at the toddler and teenager age. Especially the teenager age, your hormones are on 10. And all types of other things. So I'm not going to sit up here and bash a teenager for telling a teacher to give her her phone back, having an attitude, rolling her neck, when the teacher bucked at her first and punched her first. So the student swung back at her. Like, I mean, I respect my elders, but if a person that's 60-year-old is, gets turned up with me and they hit me, I'm going to hit them back. I'm not going to want to, but I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you back if you hit me, straight up. And I saw the sub hit the student first. Truth be told, like, looking back, I'm thinking of it like on a legal matter, a legal aspect. Like, could she not get arrested or charged with something for hitting a child? Isn't that considered child abuse? Because the girl is a minor. So I don't know. I just, like, all I'm gonna say is I feel like the substitute teacher was wrong. I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her GoFundMe. She needs to go get a trade or something, because clearly she don't need to be around folks' kids. Clearly. And like I said, I'm sure teachers take phones all the time and students get angry, but there was a better way to handle that. She said she's facing charges. Well, that's unfortunate, but that's exactly what happens when you assault somebody. People press charges. Like I said, if that little girl's mama or daddy would have came up there and mollywopped the fuck out of the substitute teacher, they would have been warranted to do so. Because like I said, when I saw the video, the sub hit the girl first. I don't know why there's all of this narrative about, well, she shouldn't have hit her. She shouldn't have, like, she didn't hit her first. The sub hit the girl first. I'm just, like I said, I think that's what triggered me. It's being a black woman, being a young black girl at a point in my life, and it being an assumption that I did something, or not being believed, or somebody actually seeing something happen and being like, well, you shouldn't have said nothing back. Well, you shouldn't have hit her back. And it's like, the fuck? I'm not supposed to defend myself? Well, if she's facing charges, that's what she gets. She shouldn't have hit the student. There's a reason why there is an age of legality for adulthood and age of legality for minorship. So act your age. I guess that's my response. Act your age. That lady was not acting her age. She wasn't acting like she took her job seriously, or like she cared about paying her bills and taking care of her kids, like she's saying in her GoFundMe. If you cared about that, you want to show your ass at that school. As a black person who has, held jobs, and I'm sure people of other races and cultures and stuff too, you know that you can't be showing your ass at your job. Like, you know that, or you're gonna get fired. So if you can hold your tongue in a corporate environment, you can keep from punching a student in a educational environment. FOH. So that's my thoughts on it. Act your age. And she didn't act her age. So no, we're not finna bully or team up on no teenager and tell her she should have known better or whatever. That's stupid, and that's deflecting from the responsibility of the adult in the situation. And also, like I said, there's a level of misogyny and ageism towards this young woman, and I don't agree with it at all. So